Um, this is Liam here from AstroPrinter. I decided to do a bit of night sky imaging tonight. I'm using a C-Star S50 telescope, which is a small telescope but designed for deep sky live imaging. So as you see here, it's the little dial on the bottom that's going around here in a circle, that's down here. This is taking 10-second exposures. And I'm showing you my tablet because I don't have this set up onto my home network yet. But every time it takes an image, it adds the data to the existing image. So what we're seeing here is M33. M33 is a galaxy, and it's called a triangulum galaxy. And it is taking live images of it right now. And as you see, if you watch closely, you see slight subtle changes, especially to the detail around here on the outside of the galaxy. And this is all because of the stacking and stretching process that's happening real time as each image is taken. If anybody does come on, so there's nobody on right now. Oh, hi. I didn't see who came on, but I know, so I see someone joined. So what I'm doing is I'm doing some live stacking, and as part of this I'm let me see if we get the comments up here. I don't see any comments for some reason, I don't know why. So I do not see why it's not showing up. Oh! Hey Jim! So one of my neighbours going by. I'm sitting out here in the dark, so I think I surprised the dog a little bit. So this is actually happening live, and each image enhances a little bit. I'll pick it, I'm going to go to a different target. This is a nice image. And I'm going to go to a different target. Let me stop this, and I'll show you the way the process works. So this is the image we've gotten so far, and that's what the camera normally sees. So the camera normally sees very, very, very little, but a little faint smudge right here in the center is the center of the galaxy. So if I start taking images again of this, hit go, I'll do a restart. So there's very little data there, and as the countdown happens, you'll see it'll take the first 10-second exposure. I can do longer, but it's doing 10-second exposure. And if you do hear me, please give a thumbs up, because I'm not seeing chat for some reason, because I'm on my cell phone. Oh, hi Thomas, how are you? So the first images are being taken, and as you see, each image, as it takes more and more images, it adds the data together. I'm making a gambling program. Okay, cool. So as I said, I'm doing live stacking. Live stacking is a process used in astrophotography to take a whole series of images, and normally you process them after the fact, but in this case I'm processing this data real time. It's called electronic assisted astronomy. And as you see, as I take more and more images, the detail starts to come out in this galaxy. So this is M33, and M33 is called a triangulum galaxy. So as we see more and more detail for each image, as you see the circle in the bottom here, when it completes one of its rounds, more data is added to the image up here, because you're adding the information per image together to enhance what you're seeing. So after a couple of images, you'll see more and more detail coming out. So just what the first couple are really dramatic, but over time the fainter details in the galaxy does come out. And I'm using my cell phone looking at the tablet. That's why you're getting the lines, because we're looking from one device to another. I haven't added this device, this telescope, to my home network yet, so it's not really showing you. I can't stream it at a higher rate, so and do the app directly. So I'm just showing you. I just decided to set up outside my house. So this is a C-Star S50. They've just come up with a new version called an S30, but the C-Star is SEESTAR, made by ZWO. Hey Gladys, oh, you're a big fan and probably of the 3D printing, I'm guessing, But I do astro imaging and astrophotography, and I'm an astronomer also, and I talk physics and science. Hey Matt, long time. So this is doing live stacking, as I said, and it's a whole series of images, and they're being added together real time. So over time, as you watch the image, more and more detail of this galaxy will come out. Right now, I'm in Michigan, and this galaxy is right overhead at the moment. Well, close to being directly overhead anyway. So you can start to see now more and more shape starting to appear here in the arms of the galaxy as we start taking live data. Oh, Lewis, well, your name showed up as Gladys here, Gladys. So maybe you're logged in with somebody else's account, which is kind of interesting. But anyway, so live stacking is kind of cool. Now, the nice thing about a C-Star, and I'm not advertising for the product, I just happen to have one. I only got it recently, and I know a lot of astronomers who use it for outreach with the public have one of these. The nice thing about it, you can get it now for 400 bucks. I'm not advertising. I'm not telling you to go buy one. I am not recommending anybody. I just think it's a cool tool to get anybody into. Ah, that's why. Well, Lewis, that's good. So, so you can see more and more details start to come out as the images are enhanced. This is kind of cool. So anybody at home can actually do deep sky astrophotography using this. And you don't have to be in pristinely dark skies either. It helps, but I got pretty dark skies where I live. But you can see the detail starting to slowly creep out on the image as we look through it. See these lanes here, the spirals in the galaxy here and here are starting to show up. And this tracks the object, so it always keeps the object in the center before it takes an image. And they're very, very easy to set up. You link it up to your cell phone or you link it to your tablet. Sure, Lewis, no problem. So this is really cool. So the way it works, as I said, we have options here. We can actually, there's filters built in that we can apply. So there's filters here. We can do adjustment on the image. We can mark the item, so if you click on that, it just put a tag on the item to say what it is that we're looking at. We can do autofocus. We can choose the constellations. This is the start and stop data collection. This is a preview of some of the data I've gotten, some of the stuff I've gotten previously. Focus was not very good there. And there's a lot of other features I can do with this, so sorry, I'm shuffling around here. So this is a nice image of the galaxy. As I said, this is real time. What you're seeing is being collected as we speak. It's not a single image, or it's not a single live view. It's what we call a live stack. So we collect lots of data over time, a whole series of images, and these circles as they go around is a 10-second exposure right now. So just about finishing another, and it's about to start another 10 seconds. And each of those exposures is added to this image to enhance it. And if you look up here in the corner, it actually says enhancing. So this is kind of cool. And there's lots of targets. You can pick any target in the night sky. Bigger targets are better. Not too big, but as I said, medium targets. It can do, it has the feature to do what's called a mosaic. And a mosaic is basically a whole series of images of a larger object that will not fit in a single screen, and it takes a whole series of them of different areas of it and then stitches them all together, which astronomers do as well, but this has the ability to do it for really large objects like the Andromeda galaxy. Oh, that image failed. That's okay, it's going to take another one. It also, which is the cool thing about this, if there's what's called star trails, so you see the stars here are points of light. If any of those stars, if those stars are streaked, it senses that something has moved, and it rejects it out of the stack. And all of this is run by inside the device. It's got a CM4 board, which is basically a compute module for a Raspberry Pi, and that's what's inside it. Now I'm going to try and show you. There's not an awful lot of great light there, but I'm going to try and show you the C-Star a little bit. Let me just move away from my screen to see if this works. No, there's not enough light here. I'm sorry. I don't want to turn on lights because it will ruin the image. So, live stacking. That image came from nothing, from a tiny little dark smudge out to this. Shall we try a different target? Let's stop this. And once that stops, right, so this is the finished, this is what the camera normally sees. But let's change a different target. We'll go back to stargazing in the app. And let's try, this might work. Let's give this a try. This is a Pac-Man. I don't know if it'll work, but let's give it a try. So what it's going to do now, it's going to find it and track towards it. So it says it's finding, and the scope is moving right now. I don't know if that will work, but I think my car might be in the way, because the Pac-Man Nebula is kind of low right now in the sky. Let's see. I think it might be a bit low, but let's try. So it's finding. It's called a Pac-Man Nebula. It's NGC 281. NGC is the name of one of the catalog, the star catalog. So let's see if it finds it. Okay, let's see what happens here. So let's see if we can bring out the Pac-Man. I think it might be a bit small, but let's try. Oh, there it comes. First image, nice. That's looking pretty good, actually. So let's see how much image 2 enhances it. Watch this. Second image, we add the data, and watch it get brighter. It's still adding it in the background. That's coming out nice. So yeah, I'm not doing any. I'm not 3D printing tonight. I'm doing live stacking of images of the night sky. This is called the Pac-Man Nebula, or NGC 281, and we're taking taking live images and real time adding the data to enhance the image. So we're seeing this is a live view of the Pac-Man Nebula right now being taken. These are 10-second exposures. So let's see how this goes. It looks like it's brightening up really nice. This is a faint nebula, so it takes a lot of data to collect to enhance the image. So yeah, we just changed over to this new target called NGC 281, or also called a Pac-Man Nebula, because of its shape. It kind of looks like Pac-Man. And we're live stacking data, so we're taking real-time images. You see the dial going around there. There are 10-second exposures, and each exposure is added to the previous to enhance the information, to bring out more detail. So our first image of this was blank, you can see nothing but stars. And over the last 10 images or so, maybe 10-15 images, maybe a little bit more, we've enhanced this data and we've brought out that beautiful nebula. So this is my tablet that's linked to this telescope, which I can't really show you, but there's the lights from the C-Star telescope there, the power lights and battery. And we're doing live data gathering. I was going to do this on TikTok as well, but the problem is I don't have enough people following me on TikTok. as AstroPrinter on TikTok. I don't have enough people following me over there to allow me to stream on TikTok. But I like doing YouTube also. I've been doing YouTube for years. So live images of live stacking of the NGC 281, or also known as the Pac-Man Nebula. And this is the detail you see is actually coming out and enhancing real time as new data is collected. So you see the counter at the bottom going around. That's a 10-second exposure, and then that 10-second exposure is added to the data we already have to bring out more detail. So this is how astronomers get more information. When they're looking at really faint stuff in the night sky, they take multiple images and they do what's called stacking, which is adding the data one on top of the other from each pixel to enhance the details of the image. But this is live. The Pac-Man is in the southern sky right now. This object is in the southern sky. But we're getting a lot. It's to the human eye, when you're looking at it, the camera actually makes it even brighter, but to the human eye, what we're seeing on the screen is actually a little bit dimmer. Jerry, how are you, sir? I'm just doing some live stacking. I'm taking these are live. This is live images of a nebula in the night sky, and the live images of the Pac-Man Nebula. And so we're taking images you see here. There's 10-second exposures, and each exposure is then added to the data to enhance this image to bring out more and more detail. So this is live view as it builds real time. And it's a bit shaky because I'm using my cell phone to look at my tablet. I have a Samsung tablet, and that's where I'm running the app. But it's collecting the data real time of this nebula. Jerry, let me know if you can hear me. I'm not sure if you can. I'm hoping you can. So I got a bit of time to myself, and I decided to go out and I have a C-Star S50. It's a small scope. It's only used. It's a kind of a hobby imaging scope, but it's $400, so it's not. It's a bit of a hobby, but it's oh, good, excellent, Jerry. Well, yeah. So this is real-time data collection for deep sky astrophotography imaging. I can stop this and I can actually enhance it. Let me show you what I'm doing. Let me stop, because there's a couple of people on. If I stop this, we'll go back to the live view. Just give it a moment. What the camera actually sees is this. But when we add the data, I'm going to start it off again. Restart. So you see there's nothing there, and we'll take the first image. It'll be very, very, very faint. So here comes the first image. This is a 10-second exposure. So there's not much showed up in that. There's a small bit of the nebula. See it, very faint. Now the next image is going to add to that. Just give it a few seconds for the computer to add the data. And it'll get there a little bit brighter again. And then the next image comes in, and adding the data together gets a little bit brighter again. So this is one of the ways for astronomers and amateur astronomers like myself, as well as professional astronomers, enhance data by collecting multiple images and then stacking the information together. And it stacks it per pixel. So each pixel, the data from pixel 1 and the data from from image 2 in the same pixel are added together. It does that throughout the whole image. So, yeah, I'm just holding my cell phone on this. I haven't joined this onto my home network because this is new. But this is how, if you wonder how people get beautiful deep sky images, they use processes like this. Now, when you're using a telescope, a full-blown, like larger telescope, you'd collect the data and then you'd run it through software to enhance the data even more. Because this is doing it real time. It's like a Raspberry Pi doing this work. But in real, real deep sky imaging, we would use software like PixInsight, which is dedicated astrophotography imaging. That image came up with two streaks in it. But PixInsight is dedicated astrophotography imaging software where you collect the data and then you bring it in there and you process the images in there, and it can extract amazing amounts of information the more images you have. So as you've seen, as it takes more and more images, it gets brighter and brighter and brighter. And we have a plane flying overhead, so excuse the noise. But this is cool that we can do this real time. And now with something like the Sea Star, this scope that I have, and there's a couple of others out there that are like this. There's others out there as well. You can put your cell phone on, and it magnifies images for yourself to your cell phone. But this is a standalone unit, and you can just run off your cell phone or your tablet, and it creates its own network. So how have you been, Jerry? It's been a while. I'm sorry, I've been so busy with so much going on. I haven't managed to jump into your lives, and I won't have time tomorrow either. If anybody is out there who hasn't been on Jerry's 3DHP lives, he runs a live at every Saturday afternoon on his YouTube channel, and it's a live hangout with other makers, and people come in and talk about their projects and what's going on, and to talk about printers that they have, and you ask questions of each other, and people basically help each other out, and it's a great channel to hang out with. And he's also got so much, he's done so many projects, big projects. Same stuff? Okay. Well, Jerry does some huge projects. He did a life-size version of the Xenomorph from Alien. That thing was bigger than Jerry. So that was a really cool project. I saw that. It happened over weeks. I think Polymaker sponsored him, if I remember correctly. But he must have used about 20 spools of filament, maybe more, maybe 50. The thing was enormous. What was the count, Jerry? What was the count of your spools for that one? Oh, you're doing the 4040 Pro Max. Nice. Yeah, I still have the 4030. The ProVer, the CNC. Jerry's a maker. He's into 3D printing, CNC, laser engraving, resin printing. Yeah, 35 spools for the Xenomorph. It was an amazing project. It was huge. If I built that in my basement, I'd have been, I wouldn't be breathing anymore. I'd have been killed for for building something that big in my house. And I have it my own space, but I have a drop ceiling in my place, where I do all my printing and stuff. It would be too tall. It would hit the ceiling. So that would have been a problem. And I'd never get it out of it, because my area is in the basement where I do all my printing and stuff. I've never got out of there. So as you see, over the last few minutes, or the last 3 minutes, we went from nothing to an image like this. Isn't that fantastic? So let me see if we can. Let's try a different target. I could keep going with this to get more and more data, but that came out really nice so far. So let's try a different target. So I'm going to go up here, choose a menu. We're going to Stargaze, and I want something that's easier to find. Let me find something that's easier, that I know will be easy to see. The dumbbell is too small. That comet is too small. And it's set already anyway. The Ghost of Cassiopeia, that'll take a long time to collect that data. The Bubble Nebula, maybe. I'm just looking through objects here to see what would be nice a nice galaxy or something that's faint. I could do Andromeda, but the problem with Andromeda, you won't see its core. I could do planets as well, but they're too bright. I don't like planets. We could do the Andromeda M33. Oh, that's Triangle 30. No, do Andromeda, will we? Let's do the Messier objects. I'm trying to find a good object for it. Hey, Jim.
Hey. Sounds like you're on the phone.
I am.
Clear night.
It's beautiful. One of my neighbours going by. The M42, no. There's M31. M31 Andromeda. Okay, the problem with Andromeda, it's so big. Let's go to Andromeda. Oh, the goat was not working. The image is what? I think my fingers are too cold. Hey Vince, how are you? Oh, Andromeda is not out of. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Okay. Let's try something else and let's try. I think the cocoon would be too small, and I don't think it'll hold that up. My car might be in the way of some reason, so let's see. So, Vince, I'm actually doing some live stacking. I have a telescope, a small electronic telescope that does live stacking. So it takes a photograph, and each image it takes, they enhance it together. So let's see if this works. So you'll see the first image will be almost nothing in it. Mr. Mink, how are you, sir? How are you doing? So, okay, so you see there's almost nothing in that image. So the first image is running now, taking the 10-second exposure. You can see pretty much nothing there. And let's enhance it. Yeah, this is a faint one, so let's see how it goes. I'm doing good, sir. I've just been crazy busy. And I'm doing some live stacking tonight, so I'm imaging something real time and then adding the data together. Oh, see, that one came out. But there it was showing up a little bit there, but that image has to be dumped. So let it. A bit of a breeze came up. So I'm going to stop this. I'm going to start again because that trailed. I'm going to start that again. Do a restart. It trailed a little bit, so let's restart that imaging again. So Chris, I'm doing well. I've just been crazy busy, and let's see how this works out. So, so I'm holding my cell phone over my tablet, which is linked to the camera, linked to the telescope. So it's taking a live. Oh, there it is, starting to show up now. See the nebula starting to show up. Now I'll take another image and add the data from the next image when it's finished to this, and this will get brighter. Watch it get brighter. So our image, our center little object here in the center, is getting a little bit brighter. For each shot that's completed, we get more and more details starting to show up in it. So this is called electronically assisted astronomy. and we are taking photographs like astronomers do, but this is using a computer application to enhance that image and add the data from each image together, almost real time. Each image is taken and it's added to it. So you can see some shapes starting to come out here. You can see the dark areas in the nebula. And this is only a minute and 10 seconds of data. So it collects data over time and then adds it together and enhances it. And the name of the object is IC 5146. Really easy to remember, right? Yeah, it is cool, and anybody can do this from home. Like if you, these right now, these devices. I'm not selling the device. I'm not promoting it in any way. I just happen to have one, and it makes live stacking really easy to show stuff like this off real time. It's called a C-Star S50, and they've recently come out with an S30. I don't really know the specs of the S30 that much, but the S50 is a small little scope. Set it up on a tabletop, and as long as you don't move the table, it's stable. You level it, and you link it to your phone, and you hit go. And pretty much, once you have it leveled and you hit go, it goes to a target and starts taking photographs for you. And you can set the exposure length. You can even have a filter for it, so you can actually look at the sun. Tomorrow, if the weather is okay tomorrow, I'm not sure what it's like, I might actually set this up again and put it on, there's a solar filter so you can see sunspots through it. So I might do that and stream the sun tomorrow. But this is a cool little device. You see the detail now. The cell phone, the camera chip, is seeing more detail here than I see on the screen because the human eye is not as sensitive. The camera is more sensitive. But as you see, the stars are very pinpoint. Then we have all this detail starting to come out. And the longer you take images of it with it, the more detail you get. So I just, a while ago, I did the Pac-Man, which is an image you can see here. I can show you while that's working. So I did, earlier on, I did Pac-Man. I did M33, which is triangulum. Previously, I had done the Andromeda Galaxy. Not tonight, I did it a few days ago. And this is focus is all over this. This is M13, which is a globular cluster in Hercules. And then this, let me pick one of them, is the comet that everybody's been talking about. Come on, focus. We're not focusing, I don't know why. There we go. Almost there. There. That's the image of the comet that everyone's been talking about recently. Taken by this. And that was only maybe about a minute of data, of exposures. So it's a really cool device. Go back. It's still working in the background. So like this is the Andromeda Galaxy. That was only for a few minutes. So M31, M31, M32, and there's another one over here that you can't really see because so M32, M31, and there's another one over here that you can't see because you need to do a mosaic of it. But that's the Andromeda Galaxy. And I also did a little bit tonight on the Ring Nebula. It doesn't look very good on the phone, but it's okay. The Ring Nebula is the leftover remnants of a star about the size of our sun. When it dies, becomes a white dwarf, and it creates a nebula like this, which our sun will do in about 5 billion years time. So let's go back and see how it's doing on our target. Looking good, slowly getting brighter. So this is how astronomers, they don't do this live stacking like this. Really, it's more of an outreach thing, but it's a way of showing stuff to people, to the public, or to anybody, and anyone who wants to get into astrophotography. It's a way of an entrance into it, where this can take photographs and stack it all for you, without you having to learn all these apps. Now, it's not going to be as good as a proper big telescope with proper processing software, but it's a wow moment when people see images like this appear on the screen when you're doing events, or if you're doing stuff in your neighborhood, or you have your family members or kids who want to get into astronomy and so on. This is an easy way for them to get into, start taking photographs of the night sky. Which is why it's great for. That's why for me it's an outreach. It's an outreach tool. When you're showing the public, they can see stuff they can. They can look through a telescope and see a bare smudge maybe, and then they look through this and they see what the camera can collect when you do stacking. Now this is a very faint object, 5146. I see 5146. It's very, very, very faint, but we're getting to see it nice and clear. Okay, this image has trailing in it, so it's rejecting it. That little warning screen that appeared on top was telling me that it had started. One of the images had star trailing, which means that something moved the camera. Could have been me shuffling around, and because it detected stars not being round and being slightly elongated, it's rejecting the image. So live stacking is kind of cool, and with like Raspberry Pis and the CM, the compute module boards and all this other stuff, makes this possible for almost anyone at a low cost, because that's how this telescope is run. It's a Raspberry Pi with a small CCD, unfiltered CCD chip in there. Normal cameras have filters on them to block and to it's called a debayering layer, to bring the light down to the equivalent of what the human eye sees. Whereas astrophotography cameras don't have that filter over it, so you can see light that the human eye will not see. And you see here, I have a filter turned on. That filter is a light pollution filter. Even though I do have light pollution where I live, but it's not that bad. You know what, guys? It's cold out here. My battery in my phone is down to 20%, so I don't know how much longer. I'll be on for another 15-20 minutes maybe. I might choose a different target though, because that's small and it's not super exciting. So let me try a different target. Let me go up here. Andromeda should not. Let me see where Andromeda is with my eyes. One moment. I don't know if you can see. You can't see stars here. Andromeda is kind of overhead. That's probably why it's seeing it's out of the field of view. Let's try stargazing again, and my focus is all over the place. Oh, Jupiter's behind me. Let's see what Jupiter looks like. Jupiter is rising now. Let's see. I might have to move. I'll have to stand up, I'm guessing, because Jupiter. So you can't see it, but this is actually rotating. This is a telescope rotating around. It's going over to Jupiter. Jupiter is. I have a feeling my big head will be in the way, so let me move my chair, because Jupiter is right behind me. And let me rotate this for the ability to see. Now we won't do live stacking of Jupiter, because you don't oh, see, it's very bright. Oh, I think I'm getting dew on this. On the. Let's see. I might be getting dew on my. You see this kind of oval shape here? I think I might be getting dew on my telescope. So I do not want to do that. So yeah, let's come out of here. because this is stacking. I do not want to stack Jupiter. I go to solar system, I go to Jupiter, because I want to see Jupiter video. I don't want to see Jupiter as a image, because it's just going to blow out when you expose it too long. So let's recenter. Oh, there's Jupiter. So let me adjust the brightness, because Jupiter, if I zoom in here, go in by 4x and let it adjust. Now that's too bright, so I'm going to go in here and adjust my brightness. And I'm actually going to do a focus as well. We do a focus. Now I'll adjust my brightness. Now you can see the bands on Jupiter. Can you? I don't know if the cell phone can pick it up. Maybe the cell phone is too sensitive. Let me try and adjust the brightness down even more. I don't know if you can make that out. It might be too bright for the... Yeah, the cell phone camera is struggling with it. Yeah, the cell phone camera is just struggling to focus on that. I can actually see with the naked eye, I can see the bands on Jupiter. And if I enhance the brightness a little bit, you can see 3. Let me see it go brighter. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 moons of Jupiter. The 4 Galilean moons, you can see them there. Yeah, planets is they're too bright. So let's go away from planets again. And we'll try again deep sky, stargazing. And then I want to try the crab is not up yet. Let me just look, sorry, I'm moving around here. Let me just look, the Pleiades. Ooh, the Pleiades might be nice. Let's go to M45, which is the Pleiades. Like, you'll see some, we won't see all of this, but let's go and we'll see how it builds out the image of the detail of the nebula, the gas around the stars, because the Pleiades are fairly young stars. And you can see all this wispiness, like cloud around them in longer exposures, because that's the gas cloud that the stars were born from. So there's some of the stars there. You see the bright stars here? These are in the Pleiades. Now you see each image, you'll see some gas, some wispy clouds appear around them. Watch as we get more data. And the Pleiades is not overhead, but it's rising right now. So this is M45. M is for Messier catalogue, named after Charles Messier, a French astronomer. And Charles Messier was a comet hunter. And what he was doing is he was looking for comets, and he kept finding these blurry objects that he thought were comets, and he was watching them, and they never moved. So he started, and they were annoying him because he kept finding them over and over and over again. So he started creating a list of these objects, and to him they were an inconvenience because he was hunting for comets. But other astronomers who looked at the same objects, they called them embarrassing objects. But now, today, because we have much better optics than they ever had back then, they are some of the most beautiful objects in the night sky to watch, to see, and to photograph, because they're so close to us, they're so vivid, they're so bright. So what other astronomers used to believe were embarrassing objects are actually something fantastic to see through any telescope. So you can see the gas, the cloud starting to appear here, right? The nebulosity, it's called, from the gas cloud, the wispiness of like white clouds around it. And each image will bring out more and more detail of that. So let it run for a few instances, and you'll start to see more and more of that wispiness around the outside starting to show up. So yeah, live stacking is kind of cool. And I'm only doing 10 seconds. I could do longer exposures, but with bright stars, there's no point. And in most cases, short exposures will work. It just takes a little longer to get the data. But with bright stars, you don't want to do very long exposures, because what happens is you'll get what's called pixel bloom, where the bright stars are so bright, they just overflow, the light from them overflow from pixel to pixel. It's like, imagine a pixel on a camera chip being a bucket, and each photon of light is a drop in that bucket. Eventually you will fill that bucket so much that the photons or the light will flow over that bucket into the bucket that's right beside it. And that happens, that's called pixel bloom. And that happens in deep sky astronomy, so astrophotography. So if your exposure is too long, the bright stars get so blown out that they create a big fuzzy area all the way around them, and you lose information. You can see the nebulosity starting to show up here around. This is M45, there's more nebulosity a little bit here, but this is the main area of it. You'll see the little like white wispy clouds starting to show up. So those who just joined, we're doing live stacking of using a telescope, and we're taking images. Each image is 10 seconds long, and when this dial goes around, it's 10-second exposure, and then the image data is added to the overall image that's here real time. So it does a 10-second exposure, stacks the data in with the existing image, does another 10-second exposure, stacks the data, and repeats that process over and over and over again to bring out detail. So this is M45, or the Pleiades, or it's also called the Seven Sisters. And just for those who do not know, the Subaru logo on the front of a Subaru car is the Pleiades. That's where they got the logo from Subaru. You see more detail in the gas here. You see like a wispiness here and dark lanes, and it's bright around here again. So this detail is starting to come out the longer we take photographs and the more data we collect. So yeah, the Pleiades is the Subaru logo. If you have any questions, type them in chat. I'll try and address them. But this is a cool way of introducing people to astrophotography. I haven't linked it up to my home network yet. I'm going to. And when I do that, then I can actually do stuff from inside the comfort of my home. Right now it's about 40 degrees and I'm freezing. And my battery life is dropping fast. I'm down to 10% battery, so I've got a few more minutes here. But live stacking is nice. When we took the first image, you could not see any of this wispiness, any of this cloud, gas cloud around the stars. But now you can, as we get more and more data. And as I said, you can see dark lanes appearing here. There's gaps here. There's more lighter, fainter gas cloud here, and around the star, and over here between these. So the detail is slowly coming out in the image. I think I might change to doing more imaging of stuff like this once I get this up and running and get it linked to my home network, because then I can spend more time on it. My cell phone battery is down to 10%, but my telescope battery is at 43% or 49%. So that lasts pretty long. Maybe fuzziness. There you go. So you see each image again here. That's another image taken, and then it goes up here to it enhances it, and then adds it to this information. So the live stacking is kind of cool. So yeah, this is what I decided to do tonight. I'm busy tomorrow, and Jerry, if you're still on, I will jump on when I get time. If I don't, it won't be tomorrow. Tomorrow is my daughter's birthday, so. But I will at some point I will jump. In the next couple of weeks, I'll make time to jump into your channel. I've just been crazy busy recently. That's looking kind of nice. Now with an actual bigger telescope and a different, higher, better quality imaging camera, I could get more detail out of it. But for something that you could set up on the tabletop for $400 bucks, it's quite amazing what it can do, this little scope. Oh, thanks, Chris. I'll pass it on. She's actually home from Hawaii. She actually moved back to Michigan. So she used to live in Hawaii. She's moved back to Michigan now. So this is the C-Star S50. It costs $400 to buy one right now. There were 5, but they're down to 4. They have an S30 that they're just releasing. I don't know, and I've never seen anybody using that because it's brand new. They haven't released it out yet. But this is the C-Star S50. It's a tabletop device. It's easy to set up. You link it to your cell phone or your tablet or whatever like that. You create a private network between this and it, and you level it. And once it's up and running and leveled, you link it to your cell phone, and then it'll tell you how to calibrate it, and then you hit go, and you pick a target, and if the target's available in the night sky, it'll go to that target. If you're doing it, you do video for planets, and then if you choose deep sky, let me show you. Well, that's imaging. I'll show you over here. So stargazing is for deep sky faint objects. Come on, focus. This one here. Then you have solar system, which is for planets, which is more video. You can also use it for like scenery images and so on. You have stored an album. It gives you the quality of the sky. So you see the sky quality is good here. Visibility is really good, but it's very, very cold. It gives you updates on what's going on. You have a sky atlas, so you can actually go in, and this is what we're imaging right now, the Pleiades. So it does a lot. Okay, it's warning me my phone battery is about to die. I'm sorry, guys. I need to end because my battery is going to give up the ghost. I've been on for almost an hour anyway, so this is working out really nice. And I'll quickly go back to the live stack and see how we're doing, and then I'll wrap it up because I'm getting cold as well. I'm sitting outside and it's getting chilly. So yeah, so we first start off with just the bright stars. Now we can see all this nebulosity around the stars, and the longer you leave it run, the more data you collect, so the more detail it comes out. I have other telescopes, as you know, Chris, but this is a very nice little gimmicky telescope that you can set up very easily to photograph stuff in the night sky. And it gets anybody and everybody into it if they want to. Right, guys, at that, I think I'm going to wrap it up because my phone battery is on to 10% and it's about to say, it's about to wave goodbye and shut down on me. So before that happens, I'll let you go. Have a good weekend, and I might, if I have time tomorrow, I'll jump on and I'll show some live stuff of the moon, of the sun during the day, if the weather permits. Alright, guys, take care. If you have any questions about this or whatever, give me a buzz, message me here. I'll take care. I'll answer you. Thank you, guys. Have a great one.